If you're grinding to achieve your goals, whether it's running a marathon, running your business, or running your life, WIS gets you. WIS is a tax and accounting firm that goes beyond the numbers, and we're super pumped to be partnered with them. Looking to level up your business or career? Make it happen with WIS. That's WISS.com/JWS.
This is T with A and Phee, presented by the WNBA.
So these past couple of weeks, we've had a lot going on.
Yes.
We have lots of announcements that we have to go through. First of all, the Olympic roster. Yay, we're both Olympians.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's so exciting. How did you find out?
Carol I was driving and I saw Carol call me and I was like, oh goodness, here we go. Like I just had to pull over on the side of the road.
Oh, you were nervous? Okay.
I was like, let me pull over because I don't know what's about to happen. And then she told me and I was like stuck because I was just like, oh my God, this is real. And then, I called my parents and I was happy. How about you?
So actually it was kind of crazy because it was the day before they announced the team. And at this point, I'm like sweating bullets. It's crunch time. And Sylvia, who's on my team, got the call like 2 days prior saying she was on the team. Yeah. I was like, well, that's it. They definitely just called people on the team first and they're waiting to call the people who didn't make it last. And we were like on the bus on the airport from Dallas. And like the whole team was talking like, who's going to be on the team? You think this person, blah, blah, blah. And while we were talking, I looked down, I'm like, guys, Carol Cowan's calling me right now. And everyone's like, and I answered. She's like, hey, Nafisa, it's Carol Cowan. I was like, oh, I know who this is. Hello, Carol. What's the news? She's like, I just want to congratulate you on being an Olympian. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And the team starts like cheering behind me because they heard me say thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Crazy.
Yeah. When she called me, I instantly like called Chelsea Gray and I was just like, what's going on? She didn't answer. I was like, no. She's got to answer this phone call. So then that's when she told me and I was like, yes, we're good.
So exciting.
I know.
I know.
Crazy to think about. We're really Olympians. We're going to Tokyo.
Are you getting a tattoo or what?
I want to, because this is a big deal.
It is
like a really big deal. So I'm probably going to get the rings on me for sure. But it's crazy that I'm really playing for Coach Staley again. Like,
I was just going to ask you about your best friend.
Yeah, like me and my bestie are back at it again. Like I thought I left her at South Carolina, but here we are. But it's crazy because I remember when they first named her as the coach, like I was crying my eyes out because I was so happy for her. Mm-hmm. And I didn't process that I could actually be a player on that team. So to be a player on the team now and to play alongside her, I'm super excited, like just to be back in the feel of things. Like now I know kind of her system better because I didn't really know it in college. So it's pretty good to kind of be back in there.
Yeah. And I love you guys just like back and forth. Even still, I see you on Twitter, you guys just like joking with each other and roasting each other, whatever it might be. It's so fun just to be around that. I love Coach Staley too. She's such a good coach, obviously, but such a cool person too.
Yeah, that's what she is. That's why I love getting on her nerves.
Yes. Okay, so on to the next thing. You modeled for Skims. What?
I was like, of course I want to do Skims. They're comfortable. You got Kim K. Like, this is big time. But I didn't know how big time it really was until like after it dropped. Because like, we were talking about it before, like it was like Kanye West, like Sunday service photographer. And she's like this big time photographer. And I was just like, wow, like this is huge. But when it actually dropped and like, I saw like Kim K like hit me up, I was like, oh my God, like this is real. It was a lot of fun though. I didn't know I was that flexible in some ways. I was like, oh, this is cute. But it was a lot of fun. I loved it. That's like my favorite shoot. And the stuff is like so comfortable. So hopefully we'll get some in Tokyo.
Yeah. How much merch did you get?
Ooh, they told me to pick out like a couple of things. So like, it's like different. It's cute little sports bras and like little boxers. It's really cute. Nice. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. That's so fun. Well, the pictures were fire. So
thank you.
It's so cool.
Thank you. But it's like, I don't know. For me, when we were named like the Olympians, like I was just like, we're about to go play the Olympics and come back and have to play our whole season with our like regular teams. I don't know how I'm about to do that. Like, honestly, I have to go win this gold medal with everybody and then come back and play against you guys to try to win a WNBA championship. Like, I don't know.
It's crazy. Plus the Commissioner's Cup is this year. Like there's so much. Plus there's an All-Star game this year. Like there's so much going on.
Yes, but the All-Star game is going to be popping though. I feel like it's going to be like a lot of fun. And it's different. Like All-Stars playing against other All-Stars, but these All-Stars happen to be the Olympic team.
Yeah, I know. I know. And it's like, first of all, I'm so happy it's in Vegas because that's where it was in 2019. Obviously we didn't have it last year, but it's so fun to do it here. They need to do it here every year. So it's just gonna be like COVID restricted party all the time.
That's what All-Star Break is all about. Like getting live, getting lit. What other place to have it than in Vegas? But I mean, yeah, it's different. I don't know. I'm interested to see what this looks like. Cause like we said, this is different. Like this isn't just like All-Star, East, West. Like this is like Olympic team and then like All-Stars of the W. But as long as they got that hockey sub in there, I'm good. Cause I love just running off the court and someone running.
Yes, hockey sub.
That means I don't have to run in transition. So that's always good. But
there's
also it's gonna be competitive.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be really competitive for sure. Yeah. We have a lot of first-time All-Stars this year too. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. I got a shout out to my girl Dearica Hamby with her first All-Star. Like that's a big deal for her because I mean, 6th one of the year, like she has it all but that. So congratulations to you, Dearica.
Yes, D. There's also a little bit of roster drama with NECA.
I know. Oh goodness. Yeah. When that dropped, I was like, ooh. But I'm glad to see that she could possibly play on Team Nigeria. Like that's
all 3 of them: Erica, Chene, and NECA.
Yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Could you imagine? Because Arike is Nigerian. Like if she goes to Nigeria too, because like USA almost lost to Nigeria last year on that tour.
Yeah, the Worlds. Yeah. Like people are. It's like. Of course, we know the game is changing, but countries are getting so much better. And I mean, of course, we're going to hold it down of being us because we get better as well. But it's really good, like, to see the women's side of it really come together and be very competitive. So, I mean, if they go to the team Nigeria, that's going to be
I wonder when it will be because Chene and NECA are out with injuries right now. But we play Nigeria in an exhibition game in Vegas. So I wonder if they'll be ready for that one.
I don't know. We're going. That's the tea.
I feel like everyone's going to be watching because people were so mad NECA wasn't on the team.
Yeah, Twitter blew up. I was like, my heart. I had to text NECA. I was like, oh, my heart. Because like, she's Madam President. Like she does everything. And I know she wanted that. Yeah, like NECA's so pure hearted. Like
she really is. NECA for president 2024.
Hello, I'm there. Got my vote. Yes, but we play tonight. Well, I don't know when this is going to air, but Phee and I, we have a game today and we are playing tonight. And last time we matched up, we went to overtime and the Aces took the L.
It was just an L because we went into overtime like so many minutes.
So many minutes were logged. I mean, I feel like we both were big buckets. I'm not even gonna lie.
I feel like we usually always play well.
Yeah.
I mean, when we play each other, I think it's always fun when we play each other because I feel like it's anyone's game every time. Like it's a good matchup. It's not like, I don't know. It's just always a good game.
And our coaches are just both petty. Like they're the same person. They're just the same person. Yes. So I think that makes the game even more like hyped up. But it's pretty cool. I always love competing against Phee, as everyone probably knows. Ever since UConn days, Team USA trial days, like we go way back. So we've been in
this B for 7 years now.
I know, it's crazy, and we think that that's like old, but we're still like so young in the league.
I feel like 7 years ago I should have been in middle school. 7 years ago I was a senior in high school. What's happening?
We can't go down that road anymore. But like speaking of our years together, like, do you see these college kids getting paid now?
Finally. I mean, I'm so jealous, but so happy that it's finally happening. Seriously.
Yes. It's needed. Like that's going to shake the table and shake the game for so many different brands, sponsors, and even like
can change kids' lives. I mean, you know what? I'm just going to say this. The NCAA, they had no choice but to do this because people are seeing like how corrupt they are and money hungry that they are. And they had no choice because people were starting to go overseas or the men were playing, in
The
like
G
the G
League.
League or
Yeah.
something. And they saw their money slipping away and they finally decided to do something that would keep students in college.
Yeah. It needed
That
to be
makes me
done.
it makes me so mad that they did it for that reason because
I'm not even gonna lie. I would be going crazy if I was in college right now. You're like, anybody need a deal? Come on, help sponsors.
I'm doing camps. I'm selling all those shoes they give us. Like
after the game, I'll be like, game worn shoes. Come on, what you guys want? We can do this.
We got that stipend check like twice a semester, and you're like trying to ration it off. Did you see they used to make stuff though that's like if you were able to make money in college, this is what you would be paid. And I'm like, dang. Could have used that.
Just a little bit. I mean, hey, there's going to be some people that probably have big deals like us in the W. That's like
right.
Crazy
I wonder
about.
If they're going to start. I wonder to what extent they could do it.
Right. Because
it's not like you can get a sponsorship from like Nike.
That's true. Like who can sponsor? I don't know. I saw a lot of different food places. Listen, if Bojangles in college was like, hey, Asia, I'm all for it. Pre-game, what you need? I will walk in tunnel fit, eating a biscuit. Like, what do you need?
Bojangles. Oh my gosh. I'm dead.
It's getting real out here and I'm for it.
Yeah, it's about time. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, they deserve
right it. After we left.
I know. See, I feel like we're like the stepping stone. Like maybe we can say that we were a part of that. Like we made it happen. Because we were popping.
Yeah, we were popping. And those people that came right after us were fed up. It's good for them for not staying.
Right. We just sat around.
Yes.
But, we really need to switch gears to the WNBA beef.
There was so much in our time away.
It was. I think the biggest thing had to be the Skylar Jasmine Jones situation.
That was spicy.
It was spicy. The tea was hot there. It was good though. Was hot. I loved it because I'm like, oh, everyone's watching the W. I saw us like everywhere on Bleacher Report and stuff. I was like, ooh, this is good. But I don't know. I've never.
What did you think? Let's give a little recap of what happened, and then we can talk about what we thought.
Okay, so there's a highlight reel, and Jasmine Jones kind of was just like, okay, yeah, yada yada, but talk about my team, and that's when Sky kind of came in with the 1-2 punch and was like, you need to discuss some things with your team. And I don't know. I don't know.
And then Jasmine was like, you want to fight?
Oh yeah.
Like those are fighting words. In my personal humble opinion, I think Jazz was a little too sensitive. I mean, W Slam posted a highlight of Skylar. Yes, yeah. Phoenix lost against New York in that game, but it was a nice move. And W Slam is a highlight page. They're not posting stats on who won the game. They're posting good stuff that happened in the game. And Jasmine is mad. She's like, okay, but they lost the game. That's not the point. She couldn't have a nice move. Both of these things can't be true.
They do it for clicks. Like you do it for interaction and reaction. So
I feel you there. Yeah.
But at the same time, she was holding it down for her teammate. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to play devil's advocate. But
I'm just like, why did you have to say something in the first place at all?
Because she was like, this is cute, but y'all need to talk about my team. But I get it. I get what you're saying too. I'm just there to be nosy and look at the tea. I'm not trying to be. I'm not for the Twitter beef, but
unless it's with Kelsey Plum and what's her face, De'Erica.
Yeah, if it's not with my teammates, I stay out of it. But it's not even Twitter beef, but someone got spicy against LA and shook the whole Twitter world. So I need to know what was going on there.
That was a lot of buildup because, okay, just as well as I know, LA is annoying to play against, okay? They're always so overly aggressive all the time. And I was having a bad game, so I was already frustrated. And then I don't know, I was driving to the basket and I felt like one of the rooks, I forgot, Ariella, I don't know, one of their rookies was on me a little bit too much. So I gave her a push. I did push her off, but in my defense, I feel like she hooked me. Okay. But then Zowie B came over and she pushed me. She was standing up for her rook, but it was the last straw. It was the last straw.
That just took you over the top.
It took me over the top. I mean, under good circumstances, I don't freaking like being pushed. Don't put your hands on me. But that was just the last straw for that specific game in general, too.
I mean, everyone read your lips, but do you want to share with the people about what you said?
I said, don't push me. Insert bleep F word.
Can we do a little censor spot right here? I love it. That was like, I was in it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Phee. And everyone was in my mentions like, we need it on the T. What's going on, Asia? I was like, y'all, I don't know. I know.
Dude, Breaking Tea literally sent me a t-shirt with it on.
I love that.
I know.
Hey, I love it. I'll rock it. Breaking Tea, send me one. I'll rock it for sure. But I get it. Like sometimes it just takes like the small, like the little things to just be like, all right, enough is enough. And like snap. But yeah.
I have nothing against LAB. Like, I mean, don't push me.
Right. But it's a part of the game. Like it's all good. Like do your thing. It's in the heat of the moment. I feel that.
Another thing, a little something that happened. Kennedy Carter suspended. She was having beef with, apparently, sources say her and Courtney in the locker room were arguing or something like that. And I guess the coach took Courtney's side. And then he's like, Kennedy, you're done. And so she left. She didn't come back out. And now she's suspended. And it's crazy.
It was during our game and I didn't have a clue. Like, it was like, I'm so checked out during games because I'm, of course, obviously playing. But I mean, it's getting hot. I think it is what it is. I mean, things happen. We all know things happen in the locker room. We know, like, things are going to happen. Things are going to come up. But, hey, that's crazy. Do
you think she's going to get traded, cut? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Kennedy Carter is a great player. Like, she's such a shifty guard, like so hard to guard. So I feel like she deserves to be in our league. Where? I have no idea. But she's someone where it's like, I wouldn't want to guard her going downhill. Like that, she's nice at what she does and she deserves to have a spot. But
she's a good player. I think attitude, honestly though, like I think attitude is a big part of it. You can be a good player, but you have to be a good, I'm not saying this specific situation, but in general, you have to be coachable. You have to be a good teammate because talent can only take you so far. And if you're not scoring 30 every single night, people might not want to put up with it. It might not be worth it.
That's true. And I think it's also like the environment that you're in, the environment that you're around, like things like that matter, you know, and we all come from different paths and walks of life. And you don't know how people may take things, or now, especially with social media, everything's blown up out of proportion. So like, I can only imagine how that locker room is, or because I know ours isn't. I'm not going to sit here and say the Aces have a perfect locker room. Everyone knows the Aces don't have a perfect locker room, but it's like, you got to find that thin line of understanding people, but also having that respect. So I get what you mean as well. Like that's all key.
Yeah.
For sure.
You think like younger players in general are doing more trash talking than older players now?
I mean, we've been saying this before. I think this wave and this generation of players, just they don't care. Like, you know, it's like they're bold. So I think when we were coming up, it was kind of like, all right, we're just gonna play our game and keep it moving. But I think for this wave, it's kind of like, we don't care. Like, we were gonna say what we're gonna say, and that's that. So I think, yes, now they're starting to talk a little bit more, and that's okay. But at the same time, let your game do the talking. Yeah, like if you can back it up and you can hoop, go have at it. I'm not gonna talk back to you on the court. It's not me. I don't could care less. Yeah. But for some people, that's their game. So, hey, have at it.
You do you, boo-boo.
You do you.
I'm just here to sip the tea and watch. I don't really, this was too much tea for me being involved in. I want to sit on the sidelines and just soak it all up with other people.
I just needed to just sit there and enjoy it.
Okay, it's almost time for a quick break. But first of all, we've got to give some props presented by the WNBA. This is where we give shout outs to someone who's been killing it. So Asia, who are you shouting out this week?
I said it already, but I'm going to have to give a shout out to De'Erica Hamby on her first All-Star appearance. I know she's really been wanting it. So I'm glad to be a teammate of hers. And yeah, shout out to you, D.
Yes, she deserves it. Yeah. Mine's going to go to Betnijah Laney. She's absolutely been killing it this year. So shout out to you, girl. Okay, we'll be right back with our guest of this week, Renee Montgomery.
In the wise words of Beyonce, don't try to lessen yourself for the world. Let the world catch up to you. True leaders know that to be successful, you have to set the pace and run your own race, sometimes before an empty stadium. WIS is a modern tax and accounting firm that cheers on the underdog. They're the coach you need by your side to support all your business needs.
Whether you're looking to scale your business, sell your business, or you just have questions, WIS is your one-stop financial expert. They're also into tech, entrepreneurship, and well, of course, Beyonce. Expect the unexpected at WIS. That's WISS.com/JWS.
Welcome back, everyone. And hey, Miss Renee.
What's up?
How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here. Have a little tea with you. What's goody?
Yes, we're so glad to have you. You know, we're talking to a WNBA owner now. Like, I need to know all the tea about how that come about. Because, you know, people normally deal straight to, oh, would you want to coach? But they don't really, they skip over that owner part. So please tell me the tea on that. Where did it come about?
Yeah, listen, it came about. I opted out, as you know, of last season. And I was just trying to think of like, yo, how can we make like a big splash and do some stuff? And my fiance, Serena Grace, was like, why don't you buy the dream? And I'm like, girl, stop playing. Like, you know, like I'm just being honest. When she first said it, I was not receptive because, you know, people see you different than you see yourself. And so as I was thinking about it more and more, I was like, all right, maybe you're not. So it's not a crazy idea after all. And so started talking to venture capitalists, try to figure out how, you know, I ain't got all them coins, Asia. I don't know if I ain't got all the coins that we needed to buy a team. Okay.
I got you.
Okay. I had to start reaching out to people that have the bigger bag. And I'm like, all right, I'm talking to people. Some things didn't work out. But long story short, I hit up Kathy, let her know I was retiring. Kathy Engelbert is the commissioner of the WNBA. Y'all should know that if y'all are listening to this podcast. But she just like, man, she was so lit. She was so dope. She was like, all right, so what do you need kind of situation? I'm like, all right, bet. I need to get connected. And really that's kind of how it happened. Once I got connected to Kathy, you know, the More Than a Vote group, all of them kind of helped me get connected to the right people. And it was a go once I met Northland, that whole crew, Suzanne and Larry, like kind of knew like, all right, let's do this.
That's super dope. Yeah. And so, you know, we know because of the scout, we know that you're a PG. And in that, you got to make a lot of decisions. So I'm guessing like, and I'm asking, what are you learning? I guess now when it comes from like, am I hitting the post or am I hitting my wing? Your decision making now is like completely different. So I guess like, what's the biggest thing that you learn in decision making now that you're an owner?
Man, what I learned is that athletes are equipped for this. Like we're made for this. I mean, everybody knows we have different things going on with our team, the Atlanta Dream right now. But for me, I'm like, I've been in a locker room before, so I'm not too I'm not panicking. I'm not too concerned. I've been here. I know what it's like. But people that maybe haven't seen teammates argue in a locker room, I've seen teammates fight personally. Like I've been, we've seen that. So people on the outside that haven't been in locker rooms, this is like, whoa, everything that's happening is so crazy. And I'm like, yeah, all right, everybody get off the internet. Let's stop talking about it on social and let's just all like figure this out because it's a family. Like as a family, you argue, as a family, you figure it out, but we're in the figuring it out mode. So I think just situations like that, you know, I've been a point guard my whole life. I've been small my whole life. Some people hit the growth spurts and all. No, I've been small. So I've been that one that, you know, we have, like I said, me, Larry, and Suzanne, we just kind of been figuring it out on the fly. But I think like any athlete that's had to be in a huddle, we get 5 seconds in the huddle to figure out who mad, what's the next play we running, who we got to get the ball to so they not mad. You got about 10 seconds before a timeout. I mean, before a free throw. That pace, I mean, athletes were built for it.
That's true. I never really thought about it like that. And I think social media honestly gasses it up already, you know, because everyone wants to know, like, what's the tea, like, what's up? But at the end of the day, like, it happens, like, things happen. So I definitely, like, feel you on that part. But I guess what are you hoping to accomplish with the Dream and now in your new position?
Yeah, I want people to start looking at the Atlanta Dream the same way they look at the Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta United, and Atlanta Braves here in Atlanta. You know, we have all the sports teams here, but then we got brands that they're literally sponsors for every men's sports team, but they don't sponsor us. They're literally people supporting every other men's team, but they don't support us. So we got to get the fans, the community, the corporations all of that on board with our team because we're a professional team in the city as well. So that's my whole thing. Like that's my whole drive, being, you know, on the ground with the community stuff, but also like ring the alarm. Like we're a sports team here too, even women's sports, the WNBA. Yeah. People a lot of times they just use the old things like, oh yeah, nobody's watching. Oh, it's not good. And that wasn't even old, but those are old things. And so we know that's not the case. We know people are watching. We know the Women's World Series for NCAA beat out the Men's World Series for the
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. So we know that that's not there anymore. Like that little barrier that people are saying, oh, when the numbers get there, we're here. So I'm knocking on doors like, yeah, the numbers are here. What's up? That's kind of what I'm doing now.
That's the energy that we need surrounding our game. Yes, I love that. But you mentioned the Atlanta Hawks and saw you being a little analyst.
Little something, Asia, little something.
Flash. I like that. I love it. You're like multi-dimensional. So it's like you're giving me everything right now. And I love that. So could you possibly just speak on like your transition, like from a player now to an analyst? Like I tried it my rookie year and it was pretty cool because I feel like we have a different mind and we can bring a different aspect to analyzing the game because we've been in those situations. So if you don't mind speaking on that, please share because like you got the PG mind. So I'm loving that.
That's the thing. I try to tell people all the time, like, you know, this whole debate, Maria Taylor, Rachel Nicholas. Right. I try to tell people all the time that women, we play the same basketball men play, you know? So when they think of women being analysts for men, there's the same game of basketball that we all play. It might look different to fans because men are dunking, but I can guarantee you that when you read that pick and roll, this the exact same reads. They might be throwing a lob. We might be doing a drop pass. So people don't really realize that. It's really crazy. So whenever I got to cover the Hawks, I think a lot of people were here in Atlanta were like, wow, you really know what you're talking about. And I'm like, yeah, baby, I played in the WNBA 11 years, but that goes to say, you know, I'm glad that you dipped your feet in it, you know, starting out early, because the experience that we have going up to it, there's analysts right now sitting in seats that haven't played past high school. And that's not a knock on them, but your rookie year, you played under Dawn Staley. You know, you studied under one of the greatest point guards to ever play. So of course you better learn something under Dawn. Like, of course. And so I think that it's just, people have to start changing the way they think, you know, like there shouldn't be one seat that all the women, all the minorities, everybody got to fight over to talk about sports when we know sports. So I'm just happy to have this role and be able to talk about a sport that we all play.
Yes, that's on it. Snaps there. Yes, I can hear snaps. But once we got back on, I want to revisit the decision of you opting out of the 2020 season. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I had those thoughts in my head coming into it, and it was really tough. I just remember talking to just my whole team and rallying behind it. But I want to know, like, what were the factors that you were considering, like, and how hard was it? Because I can only imagine, like, opting out of your livelihood, like what you're used to. So, like, I don't know. I want to pick your brain there. Like, what went into that?
It was so tough because it's like our lifestyle, like literally how we live our day-to-day life. Like I go to practice, I take a nap, you know, that's what, you know what I mean? And then I wake up. So my whole lifestyle shifted, and it shifted already because of the pandemic. So I think the pandemic, like if I was in the thick of things playing basketball, it would have probably been hard to pull me away. But when the pandemic happened, everything stopped. So my Hawks, I was calling the Hawks. I was supposed to call the women's NCAA, the Dos Equis 3x3 tournament. I had all these different jobs, but they were all around sports. And so when all of that stopped and I had to sit down, and side note, that let me know too that I can't have all my eggs in one basket. That's just a little nugget because sports shut down, my whole world shut down. And I was like, oh no, baby, I don't like this. So I had to diversify my portfolio. But when all that happened, I was just sitting at home and I started like watching the TV, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of crazy that we're watching a man get murdered on TV. Like that's kind of, it was like blowing my mind that in 2021, we were really watching this. And then I live in Georgia. So, you know, we was turned up over here. I looked out my window. It was loud. It was, you know, I live close to the downtown area. So that's where a lot of the protests, the marches were happening. They were turned up, and I was like, oh no, I want to be turned up too. Like I was, you know, I had that same energy they had. So I'm like, all right, what can I do to enhance that? What can I do to be a part of that? I want to be down, basically. And so when I started to just look at it, I realized that, man, I didn't think it happened one day. I didn't think about basketball the whole day. Now, some people that might be normal. For me, like, it's a way of life. So that's crazy to not even think about working out basketball a whole day. And that said a lot to me, because that meant that, like, my heart, my mind was somewhere else. And so I just kind of followed that. You know, I was the same as you. And a lot of people kind of like you, they hit me up. Like, once I opted out, they hit me up, try to pick my brain. And I told everybody, like, I don't think everybody needs to opt out. You know, I think that people thought, since I opted out, that I thought everybody needs to opt out. Let's take a stance. I thought it was dope what the WNBA was doing in the wobble. I think that made like a loud noise over there, and we're making a loud noise over here. And then you got the NBA, and you got Naomi Osaka wearing her mask, and I'm like, we really loud out here. Like, I just really felt like something was happening. And so it was a tough decision, you know, especially, I told you, I ain't had no jobs. All my jobs was with basketball. And so I wasn't getting no paychecks. The WNBA let us know, unless you got a medical excuse, you're not getting no money. So they told us, they let us know that real quick. And
They quick with that.
They told us. And so I'm like, dang, okay, so I'm quitting my job with no job, basically. This doesn't seem very bright, but like, everything worked out the way it should. It was tough, though. I would say it was a tough decision, but I really have no regrets.
Yeah, I love that. And like, when you spoke about Georgia, and for those who haven't been paying attention, you know, the dream in the WNBA flipped the whole Senate seat over here. Like, Georgia was popping, it was jumping, it was live. Like, what message do you think that sent out about the WNBA, and like how it influenced us beyond basketball? Like, I think that was just like major, like, I don't know, I guess being in it, like you said, being in Georgia and seeing it all, because Vegas, like, it wasn't really popping like you think it would, but Georgia's like the heart of it. Like, they turn up down there. So like,
listen, we were sister soldiers down here, okay? Like, we were really turned up. And I mean, people were reaching out to me that I was like, what? Like, even LeBron James is more than a vote. And then when Stacey Abrams reached out to me, I'm like, yo, this is really wow. Like, I was just like mind blown as it was all happening. Then Reverend Warnock, and I'm like, okay, this is like all history happening, and we're in history. Like, it's not like maybe, no, we're a part of history. Wearing the shirts. We know what the numbers were, the single digit voting poll. Like, we know where it was at before the movement happened. And so it's like, wow, this is crazy. But I think the message that everybody, you know, I talk about it all the time, like, moments equal momentum. I say it all the time because I opted out. That was that moment where I had to make a decision, you know, and they say like that big risk moment. I opted out not knowing what was really going to happen. And I think a lot of people here in Georgia, when they hit the streets, when they went to the polls, no one really knew what was going to happen.
Exactly.
Everybody was like, I'm going to add my moment. Like, I'm going to make my vote. Everybody telling me my vote ain't going to matter, but everybody still voted anyway. Like, everybody knows we're normally a Republican state. Like, it's a known thing. This is not new, but everybody still went out knowing that history could be changed. And so, I mean, I think that that's the message, man. Don't, like, whatever used to happen in the past, whatever might have been the norm, like, everything's changing now, even with women. Like, you know, you see Kamala Harris in the White House. Shouts to the AKAs, by the way. We got an AKA family. You know what I'm saying? I already know. So shouts to that movement, you know, HBCUs, the Divine Nines. I think there was a lot of people that had never heard of that. My parents went to an HBCU and met there. My sister went. So I'm very HBCU rooted, but I think it was a real education process when everybody was strolling to the polls. And I mean, here in Atlanta, we take things literally. So folks were literally doing their line dance, line walk. Like, they were out there. They was up, and I'm like, look at Atlanta. Like, I just was so proud. So I think the message is like, yeah, you might, like, you know, you're one person, but everybody felt like they were carrying weight during the pandemic. And look what happened.
I feel that. I do. I love that. Like, that was perfect. Yes, I snaps to that. That was perfect, Renee. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. You know, it just dropped about college athletes can make money now. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling some type of way because
they about to get to the bag, Asia.
Like, what's going on here? Like, if this was a couple years ago, we could be set. Like, oh my goodness. But what do you like? What do you think the NIL rights would mean for female athletes?
Yeah, hold on, let me turn my lighting down. I think it's too bright. I think that athletes are really going to get to the bag. We know even now it's a growing process. People don't understand the WNBA. We're in our 25th season. That's actually really young. For people that don't know, that's really young. The NCAA is not young. The women's tournament, there are diehard fans that go to the Final Four every single year. There are
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. So brands know that. They want to attach to that madness of March. So you know that the brands are going to show up and show out. Look, what is it? Monday, I think it's about to be on. We're going to see what Paige is doing from UConn because she about to get right to the bag. And I even asked Coach Ariema, I was like, what do you think about, do you think college players are about to start making more money than the WNBA? Because with the NBA, it's not that same problem. You're not going to really be the $1 million deals in college, but there's contracts that are $60,000 in the WNBA that we seen right off top, right when it opened up. A college football player made $20,000 deal. So we see what's happening. I like to see players get to the bag. I'm gonna tell you what, if you was there when they was building that statue of you, Asia, all of that in South Carolina, Asia, I'm gonna tell you right now, you would have got to the bag too.
Listen, the coin would have been gotten, snatched, laid, fried, dyed, laid to the side.
You would have already been with Mountain Dew since South Carolina. They would have had you doing the do in South Carolina, baby. I'm trying to tell you, it would have been turned.
Listen, stickers would have been on my uniform. I would have been rocking
my earrings. What'd you say? Funyuns. Shouts to Funyuns. I really do like Funyuns. I'd have Funyuns.
Listen. What's your face? I'm drinking Gatorade on the court while shooting the free.
What you said about a bowl? I thought you said, what did you say about a bowl? Okay, I would have been that girl. I would have been setting it all up like scrunchies. I know scrunchies are a thing. I'd have been putting my hair up every time. But that's what I hope athletes. I only say that to say, first, I hope athletes get an accountant because when you start making money, you actually have to account for that money. That's just a side note, but get to the bag, man. I think that this is an opportunity because everybody ain't going pro. We know that. That 1% is going pro. But imagine if you leave college, you obviously got your scholarship paid for, and then you leave with a little bit of money in your pocket. Come on.
Right.
That's it. That's what's up.
Hey, I'm there, right there with you. Listen, all the college athletes out there, y'all better tune in because we're dropping gems up in here. But we're gonna get to our next segment. This is Phee and I's favorite segment of second favorite because spill the tea's the first. Okay. But the second is start, bench, cut.
Oh Lord.
And this is your time to start, bench, or cut. So we're going with basketball movies.
Oh no.
You got Love and Basketball.
Okay.
Coach Carter.
Okay.
And Space Jam.
Oh Lord. Okay, we're going with the original Space Jam, right? We're not.
The OG.
All right. So let's see here. We're going to have to look. Y'all just set me up for failure. We're gonna have to cut Coach Carter, and I love you, Coach Carter. I need Coach Carter right now. Okay, Coach Carter.
Gonna make you run them laps.
Listen, Coach Carter. I like the message though. Make them figure it out. We doing that right now. Like I said with the dream, we getting our Coach Carter on, but I gotta cut him.
That's that GM talking. That's that owner talking. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? We getting our Coach Carter on right now.
I get you.
Oh, okay. And then what's my other two options?
Love and Basketball and Space Jam.
And which one we're going to bench and which one we're going to what?
Start.
Oh, Asia, why you do this to me? Okay, so we're going to. I grew up on Space Jam, man. I gotta start Space Jam. I'm sorry. I'm starting Space Jam and I'm benching Love and Basketball. I mean, I love Love and Basketball, but I knew every single line to Basketball Jones. I got a Basketball Jones. Oh, baby. I know the whole soundtrack. I really do. So you can't beat Space Jam, man.
That's true. I mean, you're better than me. I would have cut Love and Basketball. I don't like Love and Basketball. I'm sorry.
That's hard because Love and Basketball, that's a hot take. It's spicy in here. It's spicy.
Love and Basketball. Every time it's on, I'm like, cut it off. No, we do not need to see that anymore.
Oh, wow.
I absolutely hate it. So
you really actually don't even like it.
No, the storyline, I don't like any of it.
You didn't Double for Nothing. You didn't like that Double or Nothing.
Nothing. Don't play me for my heart.
Okay, that's the anthem though. Say it one more time for the people in the back, because I get the tweet still, and I'm retired. Do y'all know I'm retired?
Don't play me for my heart. I'm tired of that. Let's move on.
We're off of that.
Love that. No, we're done with that. No love and basketball for Asia. I know that's probably might tick some people.
She already in love anyway. She already signed to her team, so it's covered. Love and basketball is about somebody that was trying to get signed and trying to find love. You already got all that. We good here.
It's okay. That's cute. It was real cute in the moment. It was cute. I'm not gonna lie.
They had the sparks in there. Shouts to Lisa Leslie. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Show some love.
That's funny. But to wrap it up with our favorite game. Well, it's not even a game. It's spill the tea. Ooh. So before we let you go, what's we need some tea. What's the hottest tea you got? What's up? Let me know.
Okay, so I think everybody probably would want to hear about the Atlanta Dream. Isn't that the hottest team we got? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna spill the tea about growing pains. I mean, we have a young team and we have to figure some things out. But one thing I will say is that a lot of people that haven't been in locker rooms, I said it earlier, don't know what locker rooms look like. I mean, Every time when things spill, I was on the Kyrie call, and that call leaked when the guys were talking about how to create an impact, and it was not perceived great about opting out. But when I opted out, that was perceived a different way. So I want people to understand that, yes, there's stuff that happened on a team, but we all right. That's the tea I got, that we're going to be fine.
Love that.
We're going to be good. There's not any bad blood anywhere. Just, you know what I mean? As an organization, we're not out here looking and mad and making drastic changes. We're going to stand in it. We're going to be tough through it. So that would be my official statement that I haven't released, but I'm going to release it right here, that we're going to be all right. We're working through it. We're getting our Coach Carter on. We working through it. That's what we doing.
Yes. In other words, everyone, Renee is saying, calm y'all asses down.
Thank you, Amy, for that part.
I got you. I'm here for that. I'm here for the real translation. There you have it. Renee, is there anything you got going on you want the people to know? This is the time. You spilled a little tea. You got any more tea in there?
Okay, well, I don't have tea, but yesterday, well, not even yesterday, I would say Quavo. So I have Renee's runs, and that's basically pickup games, non-committal. I know people got commitment issues. You don't necessarily want to be a part of a team. You want to get in shape this week. Next week, you don't really feel like it. So we created Renee's run. So you could just come through when you feel like it. We keep stats. We count your calories burned. It's a whole vibe. Quavo came through on our last run, which I thought was dope. Everybody knows he's a big sports fan, but for him to come through on a community event, I thought was pretty lit. We have them every Monday and Thursday. So just trying to do something for the community through my foundation, and be boots on the ground. Again, everybody, it's the pandemic. We got used to being in the house and not being active. Time to get up out, time to start exercising and get healthy again. And then I got my podcast, Remotely Renee, which the co-hosts are my Snooka Booker, which is my mom, my sister, Nicole Young, and my manager, Paul Garino. So we just have a blast every Tuesday. They drop. You doing a host? Y'all got to come through. Actually, you need to come through to the pod, okay, Asia? That's what I'm saying. Look at you. I'll let you know. But yeah, I thank y'all for having me. It's Liddy here. It's Liddy.
Thank you so much, Renee. This was amazing. We always appreciate you coming on and enjoying a little tea with A and Phee.
I'm here for it. Hey, you're good at this, by the way. Okay, get your host on. Okay. Okay.
And thank y'all so much for listening. Don't forget to follow on Apple Podcasts, subscribe on Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our show is produced by Just Women Sports. For more great sports content, go to justwomensports.com. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter and YouTube channel and follow along on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm Nafisa.
And I'm Asia, and you've been listening to Tea with A and Phee. Sometimes to succeed, you can't do it alone. You need a team that understands your business on a personal level. WIS takes progressive approach to help you win. Think, less calculators, more conversations. WIS is a proud supporter of this podcast and the JWS community. To discover how WIS is more than just an accounting firm, visit WIS. That's WISS.com/JWS.